Welcome to the Protein Bros podcast. On today's episode, we have Robby and Katie McCord. They are the owners of CrossFit Lee Summit, and Robby is a very high-level athlete. He has been to the CrossFit Games multiple times, and last year he finished second. On today's episode, we talk all things CrossFit, all things functional fitness, and what it takes to compete at the highest level in functional fitness. It was a great conversation. I'm excited for you guys to listen to it. Now let's get to the episode.
So sitting here with Robby and Katie McCord, owners of CrossFit Lee Summit. Make sure, did I pronounce all of that correctly?
Sure did.
Good, yeah. Good. You guys have been doing this 10 plus years now.
Yep.
10 plus years in fitness is no small feat, of course, but like, words can't really understand, like people can't truly comprehend the ups and downs of a business, the seasonality, the things that go into it. And tell me first, just what was one of the biggest, surprises that you guys didn't see coming? Because there always is one or two whenever you start a business. What is something that you guys kind of came as an alarming, what was this, didn't see it coming type of scenario?
I mean, there's a lot of them. Over 10 years, there's a lot of them. But I would say, first off, I grew to 100 members really quick and didn't really go past 100 members for a long time.
And this is whenever you started Do Work CrossFit, is that correct?
Yeah. I think I was a year and a half, 2 years in, hit 100 members. I'm like, oh, here we go. And it stayed there for a long time. So
this was an era during that time, a lot of CrossFit gyms in that 2012 to 2016 kind of era where I saw a lot of people doing the introduction to CrossFit classes to try to use that to get people in the door, because it could feel kind of intimidating to people when they see what people do during a CrossFit workout. Oh, I don't know how to do any of that. Well, we can teach you how. And then I saw people doing like Groupons whenever Groupon was a thing that people actually did. Did you guys do those?
I did that. That's why she came to the gym day one.
Yep, Groupon.
What are the odds, man? I'm glad I struck gold here.
Long time ago.
So the Groupon is what got you in the door?
Yeah, thanks to Groupon for this.
Yeah. And then
what kind of training were you doing prior to that?
Just play sports.
Yeah.
Never really,
she was 17, I think.
When I started CrossFit, I was 17.
Nice.
I was just playing high school sports, and my mom was like, you got to do something this summer. And so my brother and I joined on a Groupon, and then he left for college in the fall, and I was hooked. So
very cool.
And you guys, was it an introductory class that you did to help people just get transition into the class, or you just jumped all?
No, we just came to a class, and I remember it so clearly. The first day we came was I think it was like a Tuesday or a Thursday or something, and we did a running workout. And I remember on the way home telling my brother, I was like, well, we're never going on a Tuesday again because we run on Tuesdays. And then I think we came back on Thursday and we ran again. And I was like, well, I don't understand this. I didn't quite understand CrossFit and the constantly varied aspect of it quite yet. But I was hooked. I loved it. And
what's for somebody who's listening to this that maybe hasn't tried CrossFit and is nervous to try CrossFit, what are some of the misconceptions that people have that might not be true about CrossFit?
I would say probably the number one misconception is that they need to be in shape to start CrossFit.
I hear that a lot.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's not true at all. I mean, you go to CrossFit to get in shape. You don't get in shape and then come to CrossFit. That defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just waste so much time that you could have been improving there and learning all the skills and all the things that we do. So
that's what I tell Jeff, because Jeff's like, I'm too immobile to come to CrossFit. And I said, dude, you know what's helping me a lot with my mobility? CrossFit.
I laugh at that because I'm like, dude, I had to come and do an hour of prehab before I could even start the class. If you guys
we have a couple people who do that.
Yeah. And I just, the truth is
the
that
older I get, the more that pre-workout warm-up gets.
Right.
A little bit longer.
And I'm like, the amount of time that I want to allocate to my workouts is just not that long in a day. I'd like to do it for 45 minutes and call it. So I've been doing Orange Theory. Not because I think it's better, but simply because I don't have to think. I can show up, and I work on mobility there, but I don't have, to get in a front squat. My front rack, guys, let me just give you guys a quick.
Get these elbows through, bud.
That's pretty good.
You know, just hold the bar back
As long as the bar's behind your head, you're fine.
So I'm
Does Hannah get tired of washing your back?
I mean, like, I got a brush for that, dude.
Brushes.
Yeah. But imagine me doing the front. I mean, this is me for, the 2 different 6-month stints at CrossFit I did. I was doing one of these. Holding my front.
We got a few guys that do that. We got some guys that float it in the air.
They hold it up here.
Gosh, dude.
There's some guys that I train with that do that, and I'm always thinking, that workout, it's 10 times harder when you're holding the bar like this.
Yeah.
Right. So why am I signing myself up for that, Kyle? All right.
You get better over time.
That's right.
I know.
It's back to what you said as far as like the you got to be in shape to start. I always tell those people, I'm like, it's gonna suck no matter if you're in shape or if you're not in shape. It's all relative.
That's true at CrossFit. I was just talking to somebody about that the other day. I was like, the sucky part about CrossFit is that it never gets easier.
Yeah.
You just get more capable, and then you can go harder and do harder movements and heavier weights, and you just get more and more capable. It keeps progressing with you. So it never gets easier. It just gets different.
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
And you become, like I said, you become more capable. Mm-hmm. And I think if anything you should be, shooting for if you're starting at a CrossFit gym is just try to become more capable.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the goal of when they started the whole sport. If I remember correctly, it would just be to make the most capable possible person. When you guys talk about being at 100 members, right? How did you guys finally break past that? Or what do you feel like was hindering you from being able to break past that?
So I'm a really bad business guy.
That's not true. He's just really nice.
I really
You've been in business pretty long to be a bad business guy.
Well, here's the thing. So I started my own painting company when I was like 19 years old, and that's what made the money. So when I started doing CrossFit, it was just like, I kind of got talked into it, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. So I didn't need the income. I didn't make money for 5 years.
It was a break-even business, basically.
No, it was a losing.
It was a lose business
for a while. Yeah. I mean, I remember I didn't make. God, I think it was 5 years before I made money. Before I started paying myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's not super lucrative. I think the opportunity is out there. If I was a really good business guy, I think I could make some good money, but never have been. Anyways, so I kind of paint, and I still do. I paint to this day, and that's what keeps the gym going. But one thing about the gym is it's our family. And I know people say that all the time, but like, it really is. Those are our people, and I would never give up on them. If that gym didn't make money, I wouldn't give up on them. And I think that's why we've been around for 10 years, because I love it. It's most people's favorite part of their day, every single day.
The family aspect of it, I think when you just like anything else, when you sweat together with a group of people and you are pushing yourself to a limit, you start respecting people more, you bond, you create friendships. The guys that I work out with at noon every day, it's like, those are my boys. I consider them some of my best friends. So I totally understand what you're saying, and I get the aspect of even though it wasn't making money, it was worth it to you. Oh, you're definitely. Also a pretty high level athlete, so you got to have a place to train anyways.
And that is the best part. Not the best part, but I coach. So I coach just 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll train between classes. And I get to train for a couple hours.
Yeah.
So if I wasn't there, I don't know how much I'd train.
Yeah.
Like days that he paints, like he'll paint on like Tuesdays or Thursdays, and it's a struggle to get to the gym on, you got a full like probably 10-hour plus manual labor work day. It's hard to get in there, and time wise and just energy wise. So for our listeners, go through, obviously for anybody who's listening, you've made it to the games, right?
Yeah.
Plays pretty well at the games. Can you go through your athletic career as far as like the competitive aspect of CrossFit?
Well, I guess it was 2013, and I think I don't know how old I was, maybe 33. I hadn't worked out since college. I played college baseball, and I stopped working out. And then we were building a house out in Lee Summit, and I was like, when I turn 30, I'm going to start working out. So I got some equipment, started working out in my basement, and I had a bunch of guys that would come over at 5 a.m., and we'd all work out together. And we just did the bench press and the squat thing. Yeah. And we'd start jumping on boxes. We did whatever. So then I started doing some powerlifting. Long story short, a buddy of mine was like, hey, man, you should try this CrossFit thing. And I was like, what's that? He's like, oh, they flip tires and climb ropes. I was like, no, thanks. And then I kind of started looking into it. And then one of the guys that worked for me at the time painted for me. It's like, hey, you want to start doing CrossFit movements? So I started doing CrossFit in my basement, and I got pretty good at it. And I was like, man, I should do this open thing. So I did the open and did pretty good. And I ended up going to regionals in 2014.
That's when they were still in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
In the Midwest?
It's a 35-year-old, was the oldest guy there. I went to regionals, totally out of my league. but I qualified somehow and went there, and that was a pretty cool experience.
So just for everybody who's listening, at regionals at that time, how many people were qualifying? 40?
48, I think.
48, yeah.
It's a weird number, but I think it's 48.
This is also...
It's just the top three get to go.
Very much...
Isn't that right?
I don't remember.
It was a really crazy number. It was like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Very much peak competitive CrossFit times, too.
Yeah.
This is like the heyday of like...
Rich Froning.
Rich Froning.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You guys remember Jared Stevens out of Springfield, Missouri?
Yeah.
And Jared had missed regionals as an individual like 4 years in a row by one place.
No way.
One place.
Yeah,
You probably took his
Heart-wrenching.
place one year.
Sorry,
But that was
Came out of the basement, beat him. Go to the
But that I'll never forget him like being like, man, it was just like tough because he was obviously such a great athlete.
Yeah.
And every time at regionals, he got snubbed by one spot.
So real quick, you hadn't worked out in a CrossFit gym and you went to regionals?
So I did start going to CrossFit Lee Summit.
Ah, okay.
So
I was like, because this is wild. If
So-
you just straight from the basement to
it
regionals.
basically was from the basement.
Yeah.
So long story, I did some competition. I met some guy through work. He's like, hey, you want to do a competition with me? CrossFit? I'm like, sure. So I did this competition, and the owner of CrossFit Lee Summit at the time is like, hey, man, you should do the open. I was like, oh, yeah, the open. I didn't know what it was. So I went home and looked it up, saw what it was, reached out to him, was like, can I do the open at your gym? So I did do the open at his gym, but I trained in my basement.
And was this guy like, excuse my language, holy shit, like this guy's really good.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, I'm going to guess he had 200 members there.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And you just show up and just smoke.
So you did the open for the
things.
first time was at a CrossFit gym. You had not worked out at a CrossFit gym prior.
Nope.
That's so awesome, dude.
This was 2014, you said?
2014. Yes.
Was this the year that they had like the snatches, muscle ups?
Yeah.
The
Nasty Girls V2.
Yep.
Yeah. So I had never done a pistol. Didn't know what one was.
Oh gosh.
I had never.
Were you able to do them?
I did pretty good on that workout.
So
Not
this is
great,
how you
but-
know you're going to be a good CrossFit athlete. Just do pistols. Like, oh, how do you do that? Oh, okay. I got that.
So the first event was a hang squat snatch. I had never squat snatched before. So I'm practicing in my basement, literally landed the barbell on my back, smashed myself on the floor. I'm like, yes, is it going to go good? Because I just power snatched. I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
I think I squat snatched 235 there at the competition, which I was proud of it at the time. But yeah, learning those pistols, they released the workout 7 days prior to regionals, and I was like, I got to learn pistols real quick.
Holy crap.
Never handstand walked. They had a max handstand walk in there. I was like, here we go. That was the year that you had one attempt. Like if you fell, you're done.
Oh no.
So you could go all the way down the entire arena, turn around and come back, but you can't fall. And I went 60 foot, and I was like, look at me.
Yeah.
Did terrible, but I went 60 foot on my hands in one shot. So
Competitive CrossFit, there's a big distinction for anybody who's listening to this between competitive CrossFit and the CrossFit you would find in a normal gym. Typically, you go into a normal gym, you're not going to be, if you don't have the desire to handstand walk, you're not going to be required to handstand walk. There's lots of subs out for different movements. But in competitive CrossFit, to go compete at the highest level and to have not handstand walked is crazy.
yeah, I mean,
And you got 60 feet in like 2-3 weeks of training of it?
like 6 days, I think.
Oh my God, dude. That is incredible. You walked 60 feet on your hands with
I have a
6 days
video.
notice.
I look pretty weird. I look like I'm
I
gonna
still
fall the
look
whole
weird
time.
handstand walking. Yeah,
It's pretty easy to look weird walking on your hands.
So what did you end up placing in that?
So I had a torn labrum and rotator cuff when I went, and I knew I had something going on in my shoulder. So after that first day, I was done.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't lift my arm up. I'm like, I don't know if I can keep working out. So I didn't. So I got, I don't know what I got.
Yeah.
Probably last.
Pulled out.
So we had 3 workouts that first day, and I'm pretty sure that's all I did was just day 1. I don't remember. It's a long time ago, 11 years ago. So not great.
Yeah.
Well, talk us through the rest of the career from there, because it's obviously it finished with you being second in the world.
So after that, I mean, there was really no spot for me because I was 35. I mean, your good athletes are 23.
Yeah.
24, 25. So there's no spot for me, and there was no such thing as masters yet. So I was like, well, I'll just do CrossFit because it's fun, run a gym. And then all of a sudden, they were like, when I was 39, was it 39?
Yeah.
They came out with masters for the first time, and I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
You qualified on accident.
I did.
You're like, I'm going to try next year when I turn 40, because then you'll be the youngest of the new division. The
I was about to say,
yeah.
39 is at the tail end of
Yeah.
the first Masters.
So he's
because
like,
now
I'm just going
Masters
to,
is 30.
treat it almost like just a training, like a, what would you call it? Like a mock qualification weekend or something like that, just to like, get some great experience. The qualifying process is pretty stressful, and there's a lot of kinks to work out. And so he's like, I'll just try and see. And he qualified.
And I did not go for various reasons. In the next year, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go when I'm 40. And then they were taking top 10. I got 11.
No.
Right?
You qualified and they canceled it because COVID.
No, when I turned 40, I got 11th.
Oh, that's right.
And I was like,
Oh, no.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had one,
What year was this?
2020.
maybe 2019.
We'll have to do a fact check.
Maybe
So
2019.
this is when
Yeah.
regionals had changed up at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
They just did
2020, I was like, well, I'll train a little harder because I didn't train that hard.
Yeah.
And then I got sixth. I'm like, cool, I'm going. Sweet, going to the games, going to do great. They canceled it because of COVID. I'm like, man. And for me, training hard is really hard to do because I
paint. Yeah.
It's just tough.
So real quick, when you say training hard for people who are listening, what does that entail for somebody who's going to be a top, 10 athlete in the division you're competing in?
It's essentially 2 sessions a day.
Yeah.
You
A strength and a Metcon session, or?
So let's say the morning I would do strength and I would do two strengths. Let's say I would do snatch and then back squat for an hour. Then I'd do accessories with dumbbells. Let's say step ups or lunges or some sort of accessory. And then I would do a Metcon, which would be, let's say, ring muscle ups, handstand walk, deadlifts or something. And then I'd go back and I would do machine work, rowing intervals, something really, really hard, really nasty.
Yeah.
Burpees, box jumps, stuff like that. And you do that 6 days a week.
Yeah.
That's training. I mean, if you're not training like that, you're not going to the games. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. And you did that on days you painted too.
No. The days
Was
I
that
painted
your
was a
recovery
one session and go paint. Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a recovery day.
No.
It's not. It's not.
She came to my job not too long ago. She goes, I think you're in like zone 2 training all day.
Probably so.
Yeah, 'cause, like,
that's probably what's helping you with your aerobic capacity. You got a lot of
Up
zone
and
2
down ladders
training.
100 times a day.
We were talking about, I wear a Whoop. I've worn a Whoop for like a lot of years. I don't know if you know what a Whoop is, like fitness tracker, and it tracks like your strain.
Oh God.
Yeah. I was like, and you get a 10 strain on a workout or something. You're like, oh, that's pretty good. And then you can track on there. You can look up like in Missouri, for example, like where you ranked strain wise, and the people who are the highest are always the manual laborers.
Yeah.
I'm like, I bet your strain is, I think the max is like 26 or something. I was like, I bet your strain is over 20 every single day.
How many? So you're working out 6 days a week. You're also, doing manual labor. How many calories are you consuming per day?
I could not
Unlimited amounts, for real.
Whatever I feed him.
Yeah, whatever she feeds me.
A lot.
Yeah, because it's like it's not only the amount of volume that you're doing. It's like, can you recover from that volume? And as you get older, your ability to recover from volume like that goes down over time. So it's almost like, yeah, you got to do a lot of volume to even get that in that good of shape, but you also have to, mitigate how much, what your recovery is like during that time too, which is incredible.
And I struggle with that a lot. I mean, I had weeks where
Just
I was like,
ran
I
down.
can't do this anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have it. I would tell her that. I was like, I'm doing easy workouts and making them look hard.
Yeah.
And then next week I'd feel great.
Yeah.
So there's ups and downs.
Do you taper off as you get closer to
Yeah.
the open and stuff?
So you taper off like the weight, the heavy weight. you taper off of volume, but not intensity.
Yeah, your intensity probably stays, but the Metcons shorten up, I'd guess, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you go 220 or 2020 gets canceled, so you're just kind of back at the drawing board. You decide to compete the next year, or what do you do?
I think the next year was the year they took 10, and you didn't make it. You were 11.
No, 21 I did go.
You went. Yeah,
21 was the year. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did go in 21.
To the games, and you finished. I have you down as you finished 19th.
So I didn't finish at all. Here's the thing. I got this on video too. This is my luck. Ready? So the first event is a 4.5 mile run, and my Achilles is hanging out the back of my heel. Basically, I'm like, awesome. I mean, we're old. You're going to make us run 4.5 miles day one. So I run 4.5 miles. It's fine. I don't know what place I got. Almost last.
Finished though.
Just jogged the entire time.
Yeah.
Next event, great workout for me. It was 5 rounds, 1 legless rope climb, 20 foot. We had never seen a 20-foot rope. Nobody had. And then 5 deadlifts at, I think, 355.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. Great workout for me. So they brief you like, you cannot drop from the top. You have to show control all the way down. They have these huge crash mats.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I climb the rope and I like lower myself down and everybody's falling from the top. Bam, landing on the crash mat and sprinting out to their deadlift. I'm like, man, I'm getting smoked.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I'm going to try that. So
with the Achilles that's torn.
So I drop from the top, land on the dang rope, twist my ankle all the way over. Done. I mean, I finished that workout. In my ankle, I had a 1 rep max snatch 20 minutes after that in the Coliseum. And my ankle was filling up my entire shoe. Have you ever felt that where your shoe's getting tighter and tighter and tighter? I'm like, so I went out
Better not untie it.
So I went out there and snatched. Did horrible. I think I snatched 232. And I had like a 260 snatch. And I'm like, this is bad. And then I went and took my shoe off and it's all black and blue. And so that was it for me.
Yeah.
I actually did the swim event just because I wanted to swim in that seaweed for a while.
Yeah.
We jumped in this lake and it was just nothing but seaweed.
Nasty.
It's like you're swimming and it's getting wrapped around your face and you're
How far was the swim that year?
Is it 400 meters?
Something like that,
It wasn't far.
It wasn't too bad.
But I was like, my ankle's fine. I can swim.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to. I had trained swimming. Terrible at it. I was like, I got to do it. And then after that, I think
the lake was so shallow, you could like run like halfway to the buoy. So people were like running in the water. It's like waist high.
There's giant boulders, like your ankles rolling as
Jeez.
It was a weird event, man.
Yeah. So we can back up real quick. So you had injured your Achilles and you had a bone spur. Is that right? Going into that games?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I never ran. I hated running because it hurt my Achilles.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the first event. Hey. It's like, come on. But that's what I absolutely love about CrossFit is you have to have
it all.
Really good capacity at everything. Yeah. And I love it.
Yeah.
That way you can't have somebody just randomly win the CrossFit Games.
Yeah. Which there has been a lot of guys that get really far in the CrossFit Games that are like the really strong guys, right? Mm-hmm. But I think over time they've gotten really good at, if you're a really strong guy, you get kind of weeded out in the events like what you're saying, which the first CrossFit event is always like a long, I think this year, what is it? It's a run, row, run.
Yeah.
Right?
They already announced it.
Yeah, they already announced it.
It's like 4 mile run, 2K row, and then 2 mile run or something like that. Maybe it's a longer row, but yeah. Yeah,
not an exciting event to watch, but it does test, it kind of weeds out those that, maybe have an ankle injury,
and then
or something like that.
They'll probably turn around the next event and do like a squat clean ladder, and then everybody who placed top 5 in the running event will be bottom 5 in the squat clean ladder. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get done with that. You get a bummed ankle. You come back last year, right? Your ankle is complete, or your Achilles is fully healed up by that point.
So after that, I decided I needed my Achilles redone.
Probably so, I would guess.
So they
if you're
went
going to compete at the CrossFit Games.
So they went. They cut it off. They cut that bone spur off, and they anchored it back in. And then I knew that was going to be a year recovery, and I needed my shoulder done too, my other shoulder. So I was like, I'm going to do this, and then 6 months later, I'm going to get my shoulder done. I'm going to be back in 1 year.
Yeah.
And man, it worked. So then I had a year to train for 2024 games.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I felt unstoppable about 2 months before the games. And then I started getting tired.
Yeah.
And I think the season was too long. I think the season started in February?
February, the open started. The games weren't until the last weekend in August.
Yeah.
And so you're doing all those long training days we talk about are like dog days of summer, like July, August, when you need to be at your best. It was rough.
I just didn't train smart. Like I needed to take a break somewhere, but I just came off of not working out for 9 months.
Yeah.
I was trying to ramp it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just
got a little eager. Maybe.
I guess so.
I think you just get
good.
a little bit afraid of falling behind too. It's just so hard to catch up. It's hard to play catch up. And so you just don't want to.
Well, you also, when I think about a shoulder, ring muscle ups, there's so like, even toes to bar, there's a lot that, there's a lot of hanging and a lot of snatches.
Yeah.
Was it nerve wracking coming back and doing those movements after having a shoulder injury like that? I would feel like the shoulder would be more nerve wracking for me than the Achilles.
No, I'm really good at just trusting it.
Yeah.
Like just turning it off and just go.
Mm-hmm.
My Achilles would get pretty sore after every time I jumped or ran, but it never got worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it would get sore. It never got worse. And I was like, okay, I can jump. I can run. It hurts a little bit, but it's not getting worse. So it was fine. My shoulder felt great.
So you took second, talk about what changed in your mindset, because before we started the podcast, you said, I think I can be one of the best in the world. Talk about the, what led you to feel like that, and what was your mindset going into it?
That's a good question, man. I mean, you do a lot of qualifiers when you do CrossFit over the years, so you can see how good people are, because it's out there. You're like, okay, they got this and this and this. You do that long enough, you're like, man, I'm with these guys. Like I can do it if I just try really hard. Not try really hard, but train the right way for a year. And I did it, and I just wanted to prove it to me. I wanted to prove it to her that I am one of the best guys out there. But you can't say that. You got to go do it.
Yeah.
And that's a scary part, especially for me. Just putting yourself out there and going out there and just giving it your best. And when I showed up to the games, I had one goal. I wanted to win an event because I won an open workout for the first time ever in the world. I won an open workout.
That's insane. Which event was it?
It was, do you remember which one it was? It was the thrusters and the muscle ups and the chest to bars.
Yeah.
Oh, so one that just
It was
absolutely
5 rounds.
sucks.
It
Like
was
the
5
worst.
rounds of like a lighter weight thruster and a chest to bar.
There's
and
10
then
thrusters at 95.
And then it
chest
goes
to bars.
up to
there
115
like a-
and then 135?
No,
Was it
just
that
to
one?
135.
there was like
Yeah.
a 2-minute rest and then 5 rounds,
1
or
minute
maybe a
rest.
1 minute rest.
5 rounds of 7 bar muscle ups and 7 thrusters at 135.
That was a fun workout.
I won that workout. I
That's
couldn't believe it.
sick. That's awesome.
Couldn't believe it. I did it with her and another, Nick Early, my training partner that year. We all did it together, and I knew I did well. I didn't know that I won the workout, because that's hard to do worldwide,
Yeah.
especially in the open, because people cheat in the open.
So you did it all unbroken.
No, I didn't. Close.
Probably close.
I did 4-3 on the last 2 set of muscle ups. I think 4-3.
Wow. That's
But
cooking, man.
I think I was in the 10 minutes or something like that. But so, anyways, after that was quarterfinals, and I won quarterfinals, which blew me away.
Like overall first place.
That's
yeah.
cool.
I was like, that's when it set in.
Was
like,
it quarterfinals was a in-person event, or was this
It's all
online
The whole
now?
the whole qualification process is
Oh,
online.
oh yeah, quarterfinals, yeah.
So everybody in the world,
And then it's top 10% for quarterfinals.
I don't
right?
remember what it was. All I know is I did the same workouts that all the young people did too.
Yeah.
Because we all did quarterfinals. And then you had to qualify for semifinals through that.
Yes.
And then when I went to semifinals, I won one workout.
Semifinals was top 200, and then they took 40 to the games.
I think, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just think about, if you're listening to this, think about how many workouts that is over, the time frame. It weeds out. If you have any weakness, that is going to be exposed at some point during those workouts.
Yeah. And that's the idea, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to send somebody to the games that can't do something,
Yeah.
because then it's not fair. Then the best athletes didn't make it there.
Mm-hmm.
So the semifinal, the first workout we did, for the first time, they had different weights for different age groups. And I get really nervous when it comes to workouts. Like, I change. So she has to take care of everything for me, like rules, video, all the stuff. So I had like a little team of people helping me with this first workout. It was rowing and power snatches. I mean, that's me.
It's wheelhouse. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to win this workout because it ended with a 225 snatch for 3 reps after rowing like 150 cals, and I just smacked them. And I was like, I just won that workout. Went and sat on the bike, and I was like, let's go. And then they're over there talking a little bit too much, and I'm like, did they not press record?
Oh no.
So they walk over and they said, you did the wrong weights.
No.
And that's, for me, that's devastating because
Yeah.
you got 4 days to do your best at 4 workouts. And they were just like, it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean I did the wrong weights? I did too heavy of weights.
Yeah.
I did the young people's weights. I was like,
Oh,
cool, I get to use light weights?
You get
Cool.
It feels like you should be able to submit that if it was a good.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
So then the very next day I did my light weights and smashed it. Got number 1.
You went even faster.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is
Do you feel like
awesome.
it hampered the rest of those workouts, those qualifying workouts, having to do that one twice?
What was the length of that
Maybe.
workout?
It was a 50 cal row, 9 snatches, 50 cal row, 6 snatches, 50 cal row, 3 snatches. But I was rowing like my life depended on it.
Yeah. Did you have to squat snatch any of them if the
No.
weights were lighter?
No, I squat snatched at 225 when I did the wrong. I think I was kind of like a mid power
Yeah.
squat because it was heavy
Yeah.
and I needed to get under it.
Mm-hmm.
But the other weights were light. I think my heaviest weight was 185. On the
Yeah,
side.
it was significantly lighter.
Nice.
But I rode
the
a
correct
lot
version.
harder on the second one, like way
Which
harder.
that's scary. You do it once, and that's the thing about like those repeat workouts is you know how bad it hurt.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm going to have to make it hurt that much worse when they don't have the heavy barbell separator. Because for him, that's good for him. Like the heavier the barbell on a squat snatch, the better. Because a lot of those guys can't do that.
Yeah.
And so
And
you
when I
make,
saw that workout, I should have known because a lot of those guys can't snatch 225 at all.
I don't know
And I
why
was
we
like,
just
okay.
we rushed into it. It was a wife fail.
Well,
I felt pretty bad about that one.
You also
There were like 5 other people there who could have caught it though and didn't.
right.
So it's not only my fault.
It's the first year they
It's a
did
few
that.
people's
It's the
fault.
first year they did that. It's usually, masters, here's a workout.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for anybody who's listening, the 4-day workout, it's a you basically, is it 5 events that you have in that
I
day?
think it was 4.
Is it 4? So you kind of plan it out. You try and make it to where whatever you're best at, or I'm guessing this is what you did, whatever you're best at, you go in the beginning so you can really send it as hard and make sure that you're going to get a good score on that. And then also probably save a little bit of what you're best at for the very end, I would guess. Or was there specific times that you had to submit certain
There
workouts?
was a window, right? You had
Usually they're like you need to submit workouts 1 and 2 by
Saturday.
Saturday,
Oh, yeah.
and then 3 and 4 by Monday or
So
something.
you
what
basically
most
had to
people-
retest it right away.
what most people do is I hate repeating workouts. You can do better if you do, but I want to do one.
Yeah.
That's it. That's just how I'm wired. Most people, the one they're going to do the worst at, they do first,
Yeah.
so they can repeat it. Mm-hmm. Then the next one they're only going to do once. So they, like some of them athletes were doing them, every one of them.
All of them twice.
Just trying to get the best score. I'm like, not for me.
What's your average? What pace are you rowing at to win a workout like that?
I kept it at 1,500, a little bit over 1,500 calories per hour on that.
By God, if you don't row, that's a blistering pace.
What's your 500 meter row time PR?
My 5K is 17:51.
That's
5K.
crazy.
But I don't know about 500.
I mean,
Man,
500 is not long enough to like actually.
I know. I just feel like there's always like the contest.
That's more of like a power output.
Yeah,
Right.
Because you can do it so fast. I mean,
It's like a minute 10.
a lot of people have 2K row times that they'll quote too, but that's crazy. That's
5K is something like the training we follow HWPO, and everything's based off your 5K row.
Yeah.
It's like if you're doing a workout, row your 5K row pace, and that it transfers to workouts.
other things. Yeah.
And so my 5K row pace is average 147 for
That's crazy.
17 something minutes.
That's crazy.
So
You're a good rower, but you're tall and
That helps.
Yeah.
Yep. And the power snatch doesn't hurt a tall person either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I saw that workout, I was like,
Nice.
Wheelhouse.
that one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, really, it's wall balls and anything that's
Rope climb,
rope
wall
climb.
balls, rowing, any machine.
Yeah,
What else for tall people?
Box step ups.
Box step ups.
Yeah.
30-inch box step ups, which
Yeah.
they had a 30-inch box step up a couple of years ago.
It was a
in the
box
open.
jump that
Yeah.
this year. Last year was a 30-inch box jump for me,
Yeah.
which CrossFit kind of went to the box jump over, so you don't have to stand all the way up because it takes a lot of time to stand up and show lockout and come back down. And then they made a step down off a 30-inch box, which is weird
Yeah.
because that's like a stretch every time.
It is.
It was weird.
Yeah.
I did not like that workout.
So talk to us about the games last year.
So went to the games, and I was freaking out. I didn't want to go anymore. I just was done. And luckily I had her, but I went there. Like I said, my goal was to win a workout.
I mean, will you talk through like why you didn't want to go? I mean, dude, you worked so hard for this. You did the surgeries. I mean, like,
Is it nerves? Are you saying?
Yeah. Were you just not wanting to put yourself out there one more time? Or?
I think that's what it is. I feel like it's, you may get this, you may not get this. When you own a gym, everybody thinks you're better than what you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're going to crush it. I'm like, how do you know I'm going to crush it?
Because you're the best that they see.
Do you know what I'm
You're
saying?
Yeah.
You're
I was like,
the standard.
You
for
don't
them.
know how good this guy is over in Brazil that's coming over. You don't know him.
Mm-hmm.
You just know me. And so it's that expectation of, man, if I don't go and win.
You don't want to let people down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that makes me feel like, I don't know, whatever. So I don't know how to encapsulate that. I don't know how to, explain that. But I
You
guess
feel
just,
pressure.
Just not performing.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm good enough. But will I go and put it out there? And I don't always.
Yeah.
So when I went to the games, I won the freaking first workout. And I was like, let's go.
He said,
Let's call it a day.
he said, I met my goal. Can we leave?
I
was
literally,
like, no.
I went out there and it was a short person's workout all day. And I was like, go as fast as you freaking can and don't get last place. Don't you embarrass yourself. That was my mindset. And I went as fast as I could. And I was like, how
The
did I
first
do?
workout was a long one?
Was it like, it was overhead squats and lunges?
It was 25 overhead squats, lunge down and back 8 times with 2 dumbbells, 25 overhead squats. I mean, a leg blaster. And I went 100 miles per hour, wobbled across the finish line. Guys start running and tripping and cartwheeling across the finish line. And I was like, how did I do? And she's like,
I think first.
I don't know. So we checked the leaderboard. She goes, you got first. It's like, let's go home. I'm getting out of here. And she's like,
Pretty
no.
cool to meet your goal on workout one of like, I don't know, 8 or 9 total.
10.
10.
Yeah, 10 workouts.
Yeah.
I think that would be the part that would make me nervous more than like the expectations of other people. It's like you're looking down the barrel of 10 workouts that are going to absolutely suck. Did you do before this, just kind of back up, do you do any like mock weekend events to kind of get used to that or no?
I've done it before. We didn't this time.
Yeah.
Because I was, HWPO was programming for
specifically for you for that.
Yeah.
And, Tia Toomey, what's her husband's name?
Shane Orr.
Shane.
Mm-hmm.
They know a thing or two about getting people ready for the games, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wait, that's
proven.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Matt.
HOPO is the Matt Frazier.
Matt Frazier's, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
But no,
Also knows what he's doing with
Yes.
getting people ready.
Yeah, he might know a thing or two.
Yeah.
That's
For
it.
our
Yeah.
listeners, that's hard work pays off.
Yeah.
Is his training.
so we had 3 workouts that first day, and I, not to make excuses, but I couldn't sleep. And I don't know if it was my central nervous system just jacked up from 3 nasty workouts day one, or that the exit door was right by our hotel room slamming all night long. Oh. Or if I was just nervous.
Yeah.
I just didn't sleep. I think
Probably
I
a
slept,
combination of all of them, I
I think I
guess.
slept like 2 hours.
Yikes.
I think we went through a whole bottle of NyQuil in like 4 days.
I just kept going in and chugging this
Getting
stuff.
more NyQuil. Tried desperate to get some sleep.
So day 2, and you got to recover when you work out that hard.
Yeah.
And it's not just the workouts, it's the intensity that you don't ever bring to a workout until you're at the games.
Yeah.
And your body's wrecked. So day 2, 3 horrible workouts. Well, the third one was just a front squat max. So 2 bad workouts and a front squat max. I slept 0 hours. And I was so sore. I felt like I'd been in a car accident. And I was done, man. I was like, I can't do this. 2 hours of sleep in 2 nights, I'm done. So I let her know I was dropping out. And she was like, nope. I'm dead serious.
I let him have it.
Yeah.
I gave him a piece of my mind, and I was like, we did not come
Say
this
it.
far. We trained this entire summer. I trained with you. We trained together this entire summer for this very weekend. You owe it to me
Yeah.
to finish this weekend. It was a nice, healthy little, I guess it was a come to Jesus
you probably
moment or
needed
something.
the kick in the ass.
Yeah, I said, we were staying at this little hotel. I was like, I'm going to go to the hotel. I'm going to do a little workout when I come back.
She goes, get your clothes on.
you better be dressed and ready to go because we're going.
Yeah.
And the next workout that I had to face that day was 25 ring muscle ups. No, hold on. It was 25 clean and jerks, 25 ring muscle ups, 25 snatches. I was like, you want me to walk out there on 2 hours of sleep in the last 2 days and do that workout? Fine. I'll go do it and I'll show you how bad I'm going to do. And I got like 5th.
No kidding.
I just was just not even, I don't want to say I wasn't trying.
A little bit, maybe more.
I was just like, I'm just going to do one at a time, do my muscle ups, whatever. And then I finished 5th and I was like, all right.
Yep. But that was the low point in the weekend. And then we started to.
So how many, when you were at that point and you were wanting to quit, how many workouts did you have left? Was it about halfway through?
So I did 3 and 3, and then there was 3 and 3, and then 1.
Yeah. Oh.
So it's 3 days in a row, and then the final, the last day. And why I started getting real nervous is, oh, look at those.
Yeah. So it was the August 30th that night. You were like, I can't. And then the morning of the 31st was like when you were like, I absolutely cannot do it. And
wait, those workouts aren't right.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so that front squat was the end of day 3.
Yes. So once you got through,
because you probably just sent that Echo Bike, which I bet you're good at Echo Bike.
I got a story about that.
Yeah, this is a good story.
You guys want to hear some excuses?
Yeah,
I got them.
I love it. I give myself excuses every day I work out, so I need to hear it from somebody who's
this
good.
is what I hate. This is what I hate talking about, but it's a fact. We walked down there the day before the competition. I went and grabbed the pull-up bars, flat-footed like this.
Uh-huh.
I was like, there's no way. I have to do pull-ups,
Oh,
muscle-ups, and toes to bar on these bars. So I went and found the director. I was like, hey, dude, we can get those moved up, right? So I can like kip.
Yeah.
He's like, no. I was like, well, why not? He goes, well, these are rogues, and rogue sets the safety standards at this height. He goes, and we're putting a 2-inch pad underneath there.
Whoa.
So, yeah. So can you imagine doing a butterfly pull-up and smacking your feet on the ground?
Yeah.
That's what that workout
He
was
could
about.
flat-footed wrap his whole hand around the bar. He's like, how am I supposed to hang from this?
Did they do that for all, like the entire CrossFit field?
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
So I don't ever remember watching the CrossFit Games and seeing somebody
People's
smacking
feet
their
hit the
feet.
floor.
Hit the
Well,
ground.
first off, there's no 6'2" guys at the CrossFit Games.
That's
Years ago.
probably true.
Now there is. You
Yeah.
got James Sprague. He's 6'2".
I've bet.
Who's the guy that just retired?
Vellner?
Brent Vikowski.
Oh
No.
yeah, Brent Vikowski.
Brent Vikowski.
Yeah.
So those are 2 6'2"
yeah,
guys.
that redheaded European guy. He's 6'3". Yelly Hosta or whatever.
So you never had those guys
Yeah.
until they started bringing machine heavy stuff to the games. Bigger guys did better. Now all of a sudden it's not the 5'8" Rich Fronings, it's the 6-foot guys.
Yeah.
So they're just not used. They don't want people jumping up real high, right?
I get it.
So I'm like,
If you're gonna fall off a bar, be
I'm
closer
like,
to the ground.
do I panic now? You know, because we got toes to bar in one workout. We have chest to bars. We have bar muscle ups, ring muscle ups. I can grab
the rings were
like
short
this.
too.
They wouldn't let you even raise the rings.
Oh no.
Wow.
So long story short, that workout was a workout I was going to win in my head because of the Echo Bike. Well, I got up there and started doing chest to bars. My feet were smacking the ground, so I keep moving my hands wider and wider. So I'm doing my chest to bars like this, which is fine because
Yeah.
it was only set to 20. Well, it blew my arms up like bad.
Not used to it.
So I got on the Echo Bike and did kind of 10 less than what I thought I should have done. Went back, did the double unders, did the next set of 20, had to break them up, which shouldn't have done that. But my arms blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Got on the Echo Bike, minute break. There's 3 rounds. You get a minute break, and you're trying to accumulate 100 cals in 2-minute windows. So you have to do 75 double unders. You have to do 20 chest to bars, get on the bike, 2-minute sounds, break. Do it again. You get 3 rounds. I didn't do the 3rd round. It's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not smacking my feet on the ground anymore. I was just so frustrated in the moment. I was like, I'm not doing this.
What did your
isn't fair.
judge say?
Nothing. She goes, are you all right? You hurt? I'm like, emotionally.
She asked you
Kicking
a
the
couple.
ground.
She was
I'm
like,
kicking the ground, lady.
Do you need the medical team? And you were like, no. And she's like, are you sure? Are you hurt? And you were like, no, I'm fine.
So to boil it all down, that was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Well, I say that now. There is no guarantee that I would have made it back to the Echo Bike.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you don't make it back to the Echo Bike, you did all that for nothing.
Yeah. There's
right?
nothing awarded for it.
So I didn't do it. I took a 15th on that. That's the first time I dropped outside the top 10. If I would have got a 5th or 6th, I would have won the CrossFit Games.
Wow.
So that was a huge, like, oops.
Where were you on that one, Katie?
Looking back,
So where was your firm tone there?
looking
I don't know.
back on it, do you think if you would have had like for lack of a better term, thrown a more of a fit, you could have got them to move that bar?
The guy I asked, I won't say his name. He's a no nonsense guy. And
Yeah.
no,
Really?
it's hey, can we move those bars up? No.
And there was another guy in your division who was maybe 1 inch taller than
Yeah.
you, and he was throwing a temper tantrum.
Well, he let
And
it.
they didn't move his either?
So I would probably won't say this guy's name, but he is a superstar. He's from Australia. The guy's a stud. He goes every year. He let it get in his head, and he tanked the competition because of those bars.
Really?
And I tried to talk him through it. We were in the back room warming up with the ring muscle ups, and I'm using the short rings, keeping my legs bent, doing muscle ups. He's over there moving the straps up real high so he can do muscle ups. I was like, hey, bro,
not
they're
gonna
short
do that.
out there.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but I can't do it. So he went out there, grabbed the rings, just throwing a fit to his judge about the rings. I was like, so that dude went from first to second to third. I think he got 8th
No kidding.
because of the pull up bars and the.
he
just
couldn't let it go. He let it ruin his weekend.
And that's where I was
he
just
didn't.
like I could let this ruin my weekend or just deal with it.
It's so difficult, man. Like to be given, a circumstance that's just completely not, fair.
And
Not fair.
It happens all the time, and I could complain about it. But you know what? I got second. I'm good.
Yeah.
And I got second really easy. Like the last workout, I think I could have got last and still got second.
Yeah.
So I felt pretty good about it. I was a little frustrated. And the guy that won 5 consecutive years. Like he doesn't lose, and he does CrossFit for a living.
Yeah.
He does podcasts.
His name is Jason Grubb, and he's like a
I was gonna say,
CrossFit legend.
yeah.
So he won 5. Like I beat him 5 times. He beat me 5 times. I just took a 15th, and that there was just you don't come back from that.
Yeah.
But that was.
But then that day 3, that last workout, 1 rep max front squat, probably the coolest moment of the whole weekend. One of the cool top 3.
Yeah.
What was your feeling like you got hit by a freight train? What was your max front squat?
You've got 8 workouts under your belt.
Not really a max front squat, by the way.
9, right? It was his 10th workout.
This was the
Ninth
9 because there was 1 on Sunday.
I hit 385.
It's a good front squat.
But it's kind of hard to put it in perspective for a regular gym guy. No offense to regular gym guys, but you hear people talk about, well, I front squat 500 pounds. Like, yeah, but you squat halfway down. I've seen you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And when you got judges making your hip crease glow below the top of your knee, that's a lot different deal. I did 385, knowing that would be pretty good. Another guy got 405. Another guy got 410. But the guy that got 410 got busted for steroids. He flunked his P test. So I got second.
Yeah.
You actually got third on like 2 or 3 different workouts that guy was ahead of you, and so it was like,
I got second on a workout that he got first on.
So technically,
I
yeah.
got first.
Yeah.
Brazilian guy. But he
Seems to be common with the.
I wanted to do 405, but I was like, I can go through all that, do 405, and
Airdrop that
somebody
to
else
Luke
is doing
here.
it anyways.
Yeah.
So
Airdrop.
it's okay. But it got me, I guess, second.
Doing a max, we had to do the you probably did it, the quarterfinals where they had the 4 rep max front squat.
I did do that. Yeah.
That was like the worst.
Yeah.
I hated that workout
I think
because
I did. How much did you do? You're a strong guy.
365.
I think I did 355. Good
Did
job.
you?
Give me some.
Yeah.
Here's the front squat.
That's all I got, dude. It's a front
Oh,
squat.
look, it's up there. And they made us walk all the way behind that white line, which is super weird, but
Boom. You had 405, buddy.
yeah.
For sure.
You know what?
Did you not want to try the 405 or did?
Truth be told, my bicep cramped up on the way up,
Yeah.
and I was like, boop. I was like, yeah. And I kind of looked around, and I knew that I would have to go 405 because I knew another guy was going to do 405, and he did. So I would have tied for first.
Yeah.
And it wasn't worth it to me.
The question,
I didn't need that many points.
especially with couple questions come to mind. If I have anything wrong with my hotel room, I typically get a different hotel room. So with the exit door, did we not throw a fit?
It was an Airbnb. We didn't have much choice. We were trapped.
But it was an exit door in an Airbnb.
It was an exit door going out to the parking.
It was like
garage.
an apartment
one
building.
of those metal ones.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay.
Was this in
We were in Birmingham.
Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama? Yeah. Man. So talk about what it feels like, to be up on the podium at the end of the CrossFit Games after hot, sweaty training, after the Achilles tendon, after the shoulder, after There's a big space from the first time you qualified for regionals and being on that podium.
10 years.
Lots of work in between there. What did it feel like?
Relieved. Like I was just glad it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I was proud, I guess, but I was just like, sweet, I don't have to do this anymore. And the training, I love. I'll do the training year round if my time allows for it. If somebody paid me to train, oh man,
yeah,
I love it. But just going out there and having to try as hard as you can with other guys that are trying to kill you on them workouts, that's hard to do, man. It's hard to do workout after workout after workout. So the guys that do it, they're special.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to do.
It's not just you have to be physically talented in a way that it's hard to explain to people, but you also have to be mentally be able to withstand. Well, you also have to have a good partner too that's willing to help you withstand the long, grueling process that it is to go through that.
For sure.
How did it feel for you?
I was very proud.
Yeah.
I knew he could do it. I had so much fun that weekend. I just had so much fun watching him because I did so much training with him. And I probably know better than anybody, like how hard he worked that summer. I mean, really it was that whole year, but that summer I was with him through the surgeries and through the whole like improvement, process, the whole training process. And, I was extremely proud and I knew he could. And I was just so happy to watch him go out there and prove it to himself. I was so relieved that he could prove it to himself as well, because I just think that's huge.
That dude in third place over 40.
I know. I was about to say, what the hell is
right?
That with him?
Yeah. Robby, his name's also Robby.
Is it?
Peverett, he's from where?
He's a little Canadian lad. He says "pardon me" every time you ask him.
Me?
Pardon me.
Yeah.
I love that. So when you went into those last couple workouts, there was a front squat and then there was one more ladder. You said like ladder workout as the final.
So it was the next day. There's only one workout, and it was dumbbell thrusters with one dumbbell. Super weird, like a 65, I think. Yeah. And then bar muscle ups, and it was a quick one, like a 6:15, 18 or 6:12, 18 or something like that. And I just kind of went into it. Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
Because you can't lose second place, and you can't get first place.
I was going to ask,
if I would have won
did you
first,
have any opportunity in those last couple workouts to climb up?
So the guy that was in first, he has a huge following. Mm-hmm. So like we're walking out, and we're doing all this stuff. We get briefed a couple of times, and all of his fans are like, "Come on, Jason, this is your wheelhouse. This is your workout." He goes, "This is my workout." And so I knew it was like he was wanting to win it. So I knew he'd do great. And I was like, I need to win it, and he needs to get like fifth, I think. And he won the workout. Yeah. So, but I mean, I got no repped right away. And we've got it on video. I'm squatting 4 inches below parallel, no rep. I mean, just whatever. Won't even get into it.
It was in the squat depth, not the lockout?
Correct. Yeah. And it's funny because you'll slow the video down, and he's going like this before I finish my squat. Like he preemptive, he was just like, I'm no rep in the sky right off the bat. And I've had that happen a couple of times there over the weekend. And then I'm doing bar muscle ups like this because if I do this, my feet hit the ground. And every time I go up, the guy's like, lock out. I'm like, God dang, I am locking out. Every time he's like, lock out. So it makes you slow down. So I'm like slowing down. So I didn't do well in that workout, but I didn't need to. I just got it done. Crossed the finish line. Probably got like 10th or something, 12th maybe. I don't know. It didn't matter. But
all that relief you're talking about, there's a little bit of, it sounds like, it's just, there's a little bit of politics involved maybe. You're thinking regarding just the dudes, the following, and just like it's like the guys won this many years in a row and so forth. Did any piece of you wanted to like contest any of these things at the end? Did you guys send anything into CrossFit afterwards to just be like, hey, there's some parts of this that just didn't feel fair?
I did. They sent us out. I don't even know what you would call it.
Survey.
How did we do?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, listen, man. I was like, here's the deal. I was like, I'm not just complaining as a 35th place guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I got second. I said, here's the deal. I was like, my weekend got changed because of those pull-up bars. It was changed. It was altered for sure. I was like, CrossFit athletes are getting taller every year. Like check the stats, check the games. Everybody's getting taller.
You can always add pads underneath it for the short people.
Like move the bars up. Give us an opportunity.
Shorter people, Katie.
Shorter people.
I'm over here 5'10". Just saying.
No. There's a lot of like 5'6".
Oh, I'm with you. I mean, the guy that won
Yeah.
it was standing on the first place.
He's like 5'8",
and he was the
probably.
same height as you. Yeah. You were looking at him in the eyes.
A couple people pointed that out.
He was a solid, that was at least like a 10-inch gap there.
Like, and he knows this, I'm sure, but rep speed is everything when you're racing.
Yeah.
And when you got short levers, it's easy.
Totally.
Squats, presses, burpees, pull-ups, double unders, all of it.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think that they were being like such sticklers with the bar because of the tragedy that happened last year?
man, I don't think so. I think it's always been that way. I remember back in 2014 when I went to regionals, the rings were too low. And I wasn't anybody to say anything. I was like a fish in a new world. I was just like, okay, I'm just here. Like, never mind me. But they were like, the rings for the girls are, and I'm making up numbers, right? 92 inches, guys, 98, teams, 96. It was just standard.
Yeah.
It was set. So I kind of remembered that from that. But I've done a lot of competitions, and I've never not been able to find a bar that I could do a pull-up on.
Yeah.
Without my feet hitting the ground. This is the first time, and it was at the biggest stage possible.
It seems so ridiculous.
It's so
hear.
ridiculous, you know? But just to me, nobody else cares.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like, well, I guess, what's his face can too. Yeah.
Is this, you said he's from Australia. Was he competing in the Open?
His name's Kane Hayes. He's a stud. I mean, he's been on the podium several times at the game.
Yeah.
Stud. Really good. He's like 6'3". He's taller than I am.
It seems so dumb that they wouldn't just raise that up. Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
especially if he's been on doing it year to year. You know, you think, you know, they was that just a 1 year standard like that?
That's what I don't
right?
know.
Because it's like he's done, if he's podiumed other
Right.
other CrossFit games.
It seems that way.
And it's really bizarre because it's like an A rig like this. So there's pull-up bars on this side and on this side, and there's shorter ones and taller ones.
and they made you go on the
And the
shorter
taller ones were like,
Too short.
you could be
the
max
taller
of
ones were
6
too
feet tall.
short.
If you were above 6 feet tall, your feet were hitting the ground. On the taller ones. It's like, man, when we have two options, make it for a 6'6" person. Why not?
I was like, I'll go get wrenches. I'll do it myself.
I'll do it.
Yeah. I've watched the CrossFit games where
bizarre.
it seems like CrossFit bars are too high for some girls, where they're we're having to jump pretty high to get onto them. I've never seen what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The CrossFit games has also been dealing with more pressure as far as like people videoing them and then calling out the
I broke it.
I've done that too. Calling out people for basically bad judging, you know, what you were talking about as far as like depth in the squat. Do you think that had anything to do with it?
I mean, there does, but everybody deals with it. I mean, and that's part of the thing. You just have to be okay with in
Adapt.
CrossFit. You just have to be okay with it.
Anticipate a few no reps in every workout.
Yeah.
Just plan for it. Don't be because if you get frustrated by it and you try to talk to your judge and argue with them, it never goes well because you're in the middle of trying to still accumulate reps and you're arguing and not accomplishing anything. So you just have to kind of plan for it. Try to go over it before you start if you can.
You in training just coming over and no repping him randomly, just getting him used to it.
This one thing about him, he does good reps. He doesn't. Some people try to ride that line where they squat right to parallel, or they do soft lockouts on things, and he does not do that. He never has gotten in trouble for
Just at the
poor
CrossFit
movement.
games.
Just at the CrossFit games.
And we have videos of it. I'd love to send it to their staff and be like, check this out. Yeah. But the people that are judging are volunteers.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right.
Fire him?
You're not
There's
gonna,
no accountability there.
You're not going to override the guy. Be like, no, that counted. You know, it's just like, okay, squat lower. I mean,
Yeah.
squat as low as I possibly can for you. You know, I mean, that happened on 3 workouts. The first workout, the one I won, the guy no rep me on 2 squats in a row, and I just kept squatting. I was like, let's go. So, I mean, you can get past it. You just can't let it derail your workout.
Yeah.
Which some guys do. You watch some game stuff, and guys are like fighting with the judges of that Danielle Brandon fighting with the judges and like ruins your entire workout.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Yeah. You can't do anything about it.
Are you guys
do
allowed to
nothing
go
about
up to the judge beforehand and be like, hey, this is my style here? Like, you know, are these good to you?
I do
You know?
that. Yeah. Yep.
And then he was like, no rep, first rep.
No, not with that guy, because I mean, like she said, I squat better when I hit the bottom. Like you know that stretch
bounce out of the
reflex.
bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I'll never.
He never
like,
squats high.
never squat high, and I wasn't there either. I do have kind of a frozen shoulder, so I'll be like, hey, this is what my lockout looks like. I don't want you to think I'm not locking out. So I'll do that with my judges. But my squats, I'm like, I squat low.
Yeah.
No rep.
Wild.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears because you guys have gone through some unbelievable changes as far as the gym goes. So you were Do Work CrossFit for years and years and years. You changed it into Freedom Elite Fitness. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then you guys recently acquired CrossFit Lee Summit and have made it bigger, better, and badder.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an
That's right.
interesting deal, man. I heard a rumor that CrossFit Lee Summit was going to sell, and I'm like, oh, no way. Because they were the big dogs in town, and I was like the little fry.
The scrappy one. Scrappy underdog.
Well, we have a super laid back community, like, and they were real intense. Like, they had all the competitors. They were really good. I mean, really good athletes. So we were kind of like, we're just over here playing CrossFit for fun, type of deal. That's kind of the stigma, I guess, with our gym. And I started meeting with the owner, and we met for like 6 months. It was when I was in a boot mostly, and we worked it out, man. He was a lot like me. He's like, man, I want these people to have a place to work out, So we figured it out. It took about 6 months, and then I blended those two together. So basically what I did is I bought them, and I kept them in their gym. Like, I coached over there. I had a full-time coach coaching over there. And I was like, hey, guys, I'm shutting this place down, and we're moving over there. So I had to renovate my place while they were over there. Got it completely renovated, moved them over there. Then I had 1 month to clear that place out, which was a lot of work. And I basically did it all by myself. And then the day I got finished, I had shoulder surgery the very next day.
Oh,
so I had this, was it July 1st?
Yeah.
So I moved them over June 1st, and I had 30 days to completely get that place out, cut the rigs out, throw everything away, get everything out of there, swept out. Took me a month to do that by myself. Had surgery on my shoulder the next day. Anyways, so I had 100-ish members. They had 100-ish members. I had 200 members all at once. I'm like, man, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there's just too many people. And it took me a year to figure out how to coach them, because they wanted to be coached different, and our people wanted to be coached a certain way. So I kind of changed the way we coached. All of our coaches did. And we found a perfect blend, and now it's been 2 years. June 1st will be 3 years, June 1st, and it's awesome. Nice. I mean, we're down to 150. We went from 200 to 150, but we have the best community we've ever had by far.
The gym is healthy.
It's awesome.
I mean, yeah, it's awesome.
But it took a while.
Yeah.
So
talk about the differences in coaching.
So
because
they had a really their coach over there their owner was awesome. Really hard nosed, like.
Oh, so he
was a no nonsense guy.
Real hard nosed. Like, this is what we do on Mondays. This is how we warm up. This is how we stretch. That's a no rep. That doesn't count. You didn't do RX. No nonsense, which is how CrossFit kind of started.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, hey, I want you to have a good time.
Players coach, if you will.
Yeah, players coach.
100%. That's how I am. I've always been that way. And, I want people to enjoy it.
You want it to be the best hour of their day.
Yeah.
Like, if they want to squat high, bless your heart.
Yeah.
Squat high. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You're here. You're sweating. You're burning calories. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Everyone's at different.
Not everybody needs to compete.
Spots in their fitness journey.
Absolutely. And we have a perfect blend of the way he was and the way I was.
Yeah.
So I've changed. I've grown a little bit, coached a little bit harder, but still not yell at people when they're not meeting standards, because it's like they're a mom.
Yeah.
They've got things. They got a career. They're here to work out.
Yeah.
They're not here to make a perfect squat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a journey, but man, we're so happy with where the gym's at right now.
So do you guys own that building?
No, I wish.
Yeah.
I had a chance. I didn't. A buddy of mine that had the funds, we had a chance to buy that thing, and we lowballed the guy, and he went and sold it to somebody else, and we would have paid that.
Yeah.
And that was 5 years ago.
Maybe even a few more, yeah.
So I paid $360,000 in rent.
Oh yeah.
Probably the past 10 years.
Don't look at it like that. It's not good. I don't like, if I looked at our store's rent. No.
But here's the thing: if I'd have known 10 years ago that I was going to do this for 10 years, I'd have figured something out.
Yeah.
But I was in survival mode for 4 or 5 years there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna keep it, but it's not making money, type of thing.
Yeah.
Totally.
So
how do you obviously CrossFit, the name CrossFit went through some turbulence, and also I think it's getting ready to sell right now.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? As far as being a CrossFit gym, having the CrossFit name a big part of your business, and then also, going through some turbulent years.
Yeah, paying that affiliate, price every year might not be as fun when they're dragging the name through the mud.
CrossFit is like, I'm passionate about CrossFit. I just absolutely love it. I believe in it and always will. But CrossFit LLC or whatever you want to call it does nothing for us. Absolutely nothing. I mean, they don't advertise. They don't help. I mean, they just don't. They're losing affiliates like crazy everywhere. I mean, it's hard to make it. And then they want you to pay $5,000 a year, and then want your coaches all be L2s, and which is fine. That's a lot of money every year for them to not really.
They don't support you at all. If you reach out with questions or issues, they don't respond. I think their whole LLC is kind of a mess.
Yeah. I think
Their
that CrossFit for a long time, the benefit of being a CrossFit gym was, part of it was the way that the Open ran and the way that, regionals was, and basically the way that they promoted like the CrossFit Games. And it seemed like for a very long time, it worked very well. It was rocking. Like he said, 14, 15. Yeah.
It was rocking, man. They had, so they had a media team, right? And they did, what were those documentaries they did every year?
Oh, yeah.
They would do like a movie after every year at the games.
Man,
Fittest on Earth.
Fittest on Earth.
Yeah.
People would run to the gym after watching those.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Well, then I don't know if it was Greg that fired them all and there was no media team.
No, I think it was when Greg got fired, where
Maybe.
he got
He
I think
that's
was
right.
voluntold to.
But I think he was getting rid of them because he wanted it to be for the average person.
That's
And
true,
everybody's
yeah.
making it about the super athletes. Regardless, people ran to the gym after watching those, get inspired. They want to sign up. If they did stuff like that, it would still be worth it, I feel like.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I never really agreed with the notion that people didn't like watching the best in the best in the world compete. Like, people understand that what I'm doing in the gym is not the same as that, but it is like very close to that, which is cool for a lot of people.
You got to have something to believe in,
agree.
man. You got to
It's
aspire.
inspiring. It's inspiring to watch.
I mean, we're watching NBA playoffs right now.
Exactly.
We can't dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But we love it.
Yeah.
Same deal.
Same
We
thing.
just love like high level athletics, and no matter what it is, we love it. So
We just signed up some new people at the gym a couple weeks ago, and he was showing me videos. He goes, "Look, we're watching CrossFit Game YouTube videos." I mean, people just love that.
Yeah.
man.
Robbie, you can dunk. Why did you lie to everybody like that?
I don't know if I still can, man. I could before my surgery. I got proof.
You got the other foot. Just jump off the other foot.
I'm a 2-foot jumper. Yeah, unfortunately.
Dang.
Where'd you play college baseball?
Avila.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right over by here. Just
Yeah.
south of here.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a good place to go, man.
Very
Good
cool.
place to go. Yeah.
When CrossFit does eventually sell, you hoping they have any kind of strategy as far as when people buy it, what are they going to do with it?
Do you know? You probably know more than I do. Who's trying to buy it?
I saw that they were trying to get a group of affiliates to buy it in like but who knows? I don't know. It's probably going to be, some hedge fund or something like that.
Well,
It would
what I'd
be
ask
nice
is like,
if-
what if you could give me one change that you'd love to see them make outside of just giving you more support? But if someone were to buy it and you got a chance to give them some advice, what would it be from an affiliate to the new owner? What would you like to see?
I mean, just to start at the top with like national advertising.
Yeah.
Just throw commercials out there somewhere. People don't know what CrossFit is anymore. It's like, no, does CrossFit still exist? Maybe that.
I'm with you.
So I don't know.
Think about it, if, in comparison to like Planet Fitness, obviously very different business models, but Planet Fitness does really good national advertising.
Right.
You see
Yeah.
billboards of them. You see,
Kansas City
commercials.
Royals has a Planet Fitness flex cam
Yeah. Planet Fitness.
There you
Flex.
go.
in between innings.
Yeah.
yes, they do.
Little kids standing up, flexing in the
They rip their
camera.
shirts off. Yeah,
That's right.
I've seen it.
Genius.
But, it's like you think about that and, I believe in functional fitness as being a much better option for a lot of people than, Planet Fitness. So it's like, I wish that there was more advertising behind it.
Yeah.
I agree with you. What do you think about High Rocks?
We were just talking about that.
It's too much running.
It's a new buzz.
It is the new buzz. So I just was interested in, do you have people in your gym that are asking about it or doing like...
We have people in our gym that are doing it. We had a gal that
few,
just
yeah.
went to
Houston?
Yeah.
Was there one in Houston recently?
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like to run fast. I'll run slow, but I think it's pretty cool.
We just love when people exercise. So if High Rocks is what it takes to build like a huge community of, that's all. They pack out those events. Like it's wild how many people are there, like doing it and watching, and just like those big community events. It's awesome.
Yeah.
We had a special High Rocks episode with a couple people who had competed in some of those big events and did well. And they both just kind of marveled at how well the event was run. And I thought that was just, especially when they're getting started like they are, as far as getting it going, it was so well done as far as they even had it to where it was like, like when they hit the finish line, like smoke's going off and they're running through it. Yeah, man, they just make people feel like celebrities, when they do those events. And I think that's just awesome.
I do like the uniformity of it too. It's kind of like a 5K where it's like I can improve on my time, because I know what is going into it. I don't look at it as directly competing with CrossFit in that way, because CrossFit
it's so different enough. Yeah,
totally.
But I just figured that there is a lot of crossover, because basically you have to be very fit to compete in both of them. So
yeah, and you got to be a fast runner.
So when are you gonna win the High Rocks World Championship? Is the question.
I like it because I don't like just running. I'm not built to be a runner. I don't enjoy running, but there's enough other stuff like. You got to be strong enough to push a sled. You got to be able to do lunges. You got to be able to do wall balls. I don't remember what sandbag carries, like
burpee long jumps.
Burpee broad jumps. There's a lot of aspects of fitness beyond running, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I told my buddy who competes in High Rocks that we had on the podcast not long ago. I was like, dude, if it was 400 meters in between,
yeah, that'd be a different story.
I was like, I feel like I could be okay at it, but. Because it's 800 meters, I'm like, nah.
Or if people would just agree to run a little slower.
Yeah, can we all agree?
Yeah, come on, guys.
Like, why are you guys sprinting?
Should flip flop and
have you looked
do
at
more
your age
machines.
Group, though? Have you looked at your age group though?
No, I don't like to run.
I was gonna say, well, how about this, Robby? You got some years left in you for CrossFit Games. You thinking about doing it again next year?
I'm not. No.
Totally done?
I don't know if I'm totally done, but for now, yeah.
I'm with you.
Pretty satisfied.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll talk to you.
It was a cool feeling.
I'll tell you why. Okay. So if I'm standing on the podium and let's say I got second place and they hand me $100,000 check, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
They handed me a $5,000 check.
Yeah.
That's a lot of sacrifice.
Here's your affiliate membership back.
You see what I mean?
One free affiliate membership.
We were just hoping it would pay for the trip.
Yeah.
And it did.
It did. It covered the trip
did.
expenses.
Yeah, I did
I'll tell you right now, from a business perspective, I don't know if you've seen what they're doing with the championship, the team, or what is it? A lot of the high level CrossFit people are competing in it because it's a season.
The World Fitness Project.
World Fitness Project.
Yeah.
And it's like, I like that there is a company out there. I don't know if it'll have staying power, but there's a company out there that is like, we're going to get these guys paid. We're going to actually make this like a livable, you
tried that with the Grid League. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. And who knows, it might have the same staying power as the Grid League, but it seems to me like CrossFit at some point has to figure that out. And the way that I would think about it is like you got to bring in more advertising dollars in some capacity.
They just announced that the headline sponsor for the World Fitness Project is Adidas, which is huge. Like when CrossFit was Reebok, huge. Yeah. Noble, huge. Who was it? Like Go Ruck or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what even is that?
Yeah.
Go Ruck?
Yeah, you gotta have
the CrossFit Games.
Yeah, you gotta have like a brand like Reebok. I agree with you. Reebok was probably the best. And Noble was great too. When
World
Noble
Fitness
did like
Project
the
just got
lockers and stuff.
They just got Adidas, and that's huge.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
They have to for a business like that to sustain itself and be able to pay those athletes. They're definitely going to have some big sponsors.
Yeah, they got Rove on there as well.
Cool.
When I went in 21. Noble, that was their first year, and I guess they were trying to show off. And I got
several $1,000
like
worth
$4,000 worth of
10 pairs of shoes.
10 pairs of shoes.
That's cool.
10 pairs.
They had those lockers and stuff.
So
you watch it, you're like, whoa.
Two
doing
huge
photo shoots and stuff,
like bags, like several $100 bags, and it was a whole wardrobe.
What size shoe you wearing, dude? You got some extra shoes.
You did give some of them away.
I had to. Yeah, I give my lifters away. My son wears some of my shoes.
That's cool.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, that's cool.
Heck yeah.
That was really cool.
Bam. Well, that's very cool, man. It was awesome hearing your story about that, both of you guys, because it definitely takes a team to be able to go through all that, and it's kind of a crazy story, from the injuries to,
from the basement to the injuries,
from the basement to the injuries to the, basically combining gyms like that. And then, going to the CrossFit Games, wanting to quit in the middle of the CrossFit Games, and then having to deal with it's just a cool story, man. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to share all that with us. We ask one question to all of our guests at the end, and that is, as a Kansas City-based podcast, what is the best barbecue in Kansas City?
We got probably say Jack Stack.
Yeah, we're gonna probably say
We're Jack Stack people.
You're in Lee Summit. You're in Lee Summit.
There's this place out in Green Valley, Porky's. You ever heard of it?
Oh, Porky's fire! Yeah, they're only open on
Friday,
Saturday, Sundays, like it's family business.
And on Sunday they run out of meat.
This is our first Porky's reference.
The Porky's, you got to get the
I
Porky's
love the name.
platter.
Obviously a classic movie. Yeah.
It's out off Buckner Tarsney Road.
Yeah, you should have him look it up and throw a picture.
Show us
Let's see
us
Luke.
Porky's, dude.
Porky's Blazing Barbecue.
A pretty damn good website.
I know. I was about to say, this is a good. I'm
good
a sucker
stuff.
for ribs. I know we're a bird end.
So
city,
I would go there. I used to live in Green Valley. I would go there every single Friday and get a platter and just hammer
dominate it.
Oh yeah.
We haven't done it in a long time. It's a little far. We live down South Lee Summit now, so
that's it, man.
That's it. In all its glory.
Spicy. It's blazing. So is it spicy?
I mean, it can be.
I'm just a huge spice fan, so I didn't know. Dude, blazing sounds awesome.
Yeah, so good.
Cool. Where can people find you? Tell us what's the social media accounts they should follow.
I believe it is at CF_Lees_Summit for Instagram. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's us there. We are located right in the middle of Lee's Summit, off Century Drive, kind of right by the Home Depot in the middle of Lee's Summit. So 50 Highway, pretty centrally located.
Cool.
We used to have way more followers than that.
Yeah, we did.
Are you
Long
guys?
story.
You guys doing? We're filming this before, but this will be released after. You guys doing Murph this?
We are Monday. Yeah, 7 and 8:30.
Murph, let's go.
You doing it?
Oh, come on. I'm going.
Best, right?
Where are you doing it at?
Yeah. You do it straight through?
I have. I hate doing it straight through.
It sucks straight through.
You just do push-ups for ever.
It's a different workout doing it straight through.
Totally different.
Yeah. Yeah. But I go to MC CrossFit.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, so that's typically where I do it at. So,
do you ever have anybody beat you in Murph and you're like, yeah, you weren't squatting very low,
dude? Every time we've done the first time I ever did Murph, we did it with like our entire company in St. Louis, and we had like all the warehouse guys do it. And I mean, they were finishing in like 37 minutes. And I said, dude,
they were doing ring rows.
You guys, no, they weren't. They were doing like pull-ups, but I'm like, you like literally had to have done like half the reps, to finish in the time. They're like, oh man, that was the hardest workout ever.
Finished in like 35 minutes. Dude.
I was just like, what are these
the
guys?
warehouse manager, he like doesn't work out. It was like, oh man, I was like watching that guy finish.
If you do that during Murph, it like makes it's like I'm in the CrossFit Games and somebody's telling me I'm not squatting deep enough. I'm like, I hate that person. I hate that person. Stop doing that. Just finish at a normal time like everybody else.
Like 1 hour, and we're good.
Yes, and it's going to take that long and it's going to suck, but don't cut your reps short. You hear that, Luke? I know you're going to do that on Monday. Don't even think about it, dude.
Don't be sub 1 hour either, because then we'll know.
We'll know. We'll know.
We've had a couple of the S2 guys come out and do Murph a few different years. Yeah.
Is Austin going to go out and do it with you guys?
Haven't seen him. Well, we just saw him last week or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gotta get him out there.
This is
cool. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'll just tell them after the show.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Cool. Thanks.
All right, guys, if you've made it this far, you've gotten to the end of the episode, we really, really appreciate you taking the time and spending your day with us. As always, we'd really appreciate any kind of support you can give to the show. If you're new to the show, we do not run ads. We do not do anything to try to collect a fee. All we ask is that you guys please support the podcast, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and give it a share. So if you've gotten this far, thank you again for listening and making us a part of your day.